everyone. Today we're going to be talking with some friends of mine. On screen right now we have Shane Michael from Shane Michael Studios. He's a photographer. We're going to be joined here in just a minute by Matthew Goodman, a videographer. We're going to talk about the creative essence of your nonprofit galas, and not only at the gala, but how video and photography can help both after and during in the planning process. Shane, why don't you tell us a little bit about your company? Tell us how you decided to start working with nonprofits, and just a little bit of information that people might find interesting about you.
So the first part of that is why I decided to start working with nonprofits, correct?
That's correct.
All right. It actually kind of stemmed back from my grandfather. My grandfather always said that if you're going to do something, do it within mind of helping other people. And being a creative mind and being a person that likes to create art, art always kind of helped me out. So being able to work with other companies that are like-minded and are doing things for people they can't do for themselves in some form or fashion just seemed kind of like the right direction to go the further I got into this business.
So tell me about your photography. Do you find yourself looking for creativity, or does it come natural? Or are you one of these people that can look through a camera and see amazing that other people have no idea they're looking at?
The answer is yes.
Simple answer, right?
Well,
okay.
I mean, look at it this way. I'm from a generation that was very much raised independent. We pretty much had to feed for ourselves, have fun for ourselves, use our imagination, and are very well adapted to being left alone and being able to think outside the box. That's that small gap generation between 77 right. and 83. I can see something in just about anything. And then again, there's stuff that people see sometimes. I'm just like, not for me. But yeah, I mean, being able to, for example, what do you see?
Empty bottle of tea.
You see an empty bottle of tea, correct?
Pretty close, yeah.
I see a way to remove this wrapper, remove this cap, and to be able to shoot through to create a different sort of effect on the art that I'm producing.
Okay.
If that gives you the lamest example ever, but it is an example.
It works, right? So let me ask you this. We're talking about nonprofits and working with nonprofits and setting them up. So when you work with a nonprofit, obviously there's things that happen outside of the gala night and different things. Have you had experience in setting up shots or things that they can use to build their organization?
I have, and it's kind of an important part, because if the only thing anybody ever sees is tuxedos and ice fountains and, raining sparkles and balloons, then they're not really seeing the point.
Gotcha.
And you can, and it can make you come across as just gimme. But when you're able to show the behind the scenes, how much work that you've put in, how much work other people have put in, what this space or what this might have been prior to that night, I think it says something about the integrity and background of that non-for-profit. I think those behind the scenes shots and those before shots are equally, if not just as important or more important than the day of.
Gotcha. So I want to give some of our viewers, those that watch, I've had you shoot a event for me, and the work that you turned out was fascinating. I've never had anybody that could capture the shots that you did, and I've made that very very open on my Facebook page when I post the pictures. So my question for you is, when you walk into a setting, whether it be nonprofit or your specialty weddings, what makes you different? What makes you different from every photographer that we see? And I know you are, because I know you personally, but what makes you professionally different in those areas?
That is a very difficult question to answer, because it's not the quality of work that's produced. Anybody can sit there and say I'm the best. Anybody can sit there and say that my work is different from this or anything else. And the fact of the matter is that the quality of the work that we produce as professionals is tidbits from all the professionals that we've learned from. What makes me different from anybody else is personality. It's being able to adapt quickly to just about any situation. And it's knowing going in that I'm not looking for posed shots. I'm not looking to stage anything. I am looking for those raw emotions, those raw moments, those minutes of excitement, which, like in your case, I knew going in there was going to be a lot of energy going into that, not just from you and your staff, but from the crowd and the people that was there, making sure that they get those numbers up, screaming and just having fun. So I'm following your team to look for those people that are doing that, and I'm trying to catch those emotions. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's the experience that's going to set any professional photographer apart from any other professional photographer.
Right.
You have to have personality. You cannot be a robot. You cannot be a poser when it comes to this. You either got that or you don't.
I'm glad you said that about personality and involved, because I've been waiting. Matt is our videographer, and he was trying to finish a shoot real quick, so he's jumping on with us. Matt, welcome. I was
trying to do this and pack to go to another shoot. So
right, I get you. That's why I don't know if you heard that comment of having personality is what sets you apart. This is Matt Goodman, ladies and gentlemen. He's joining us. He is one of the top videographers you'll ever see. Matt takes a lot of pride in making sure that when he produces a video, it's not off the wall or run of the mill. It's something that you're going to remember. Matt, I asked Shane when he come on to tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us how you got started in video or how long you've been doing it. And we'll be talking about working with nonprofits here in just a little bit.
So basically my background is music. I've been involved in music in some sort of way and for basically 18 years of my life. And then basically what it came down to is I had a bunch of artists that I was working with at the time, and they all did music videos, and there was nobody in town that did music videos. And it was some crazy number for the price. So I picked up a camera and then just kind of figured it out. And I started shooting music videos. And then from there, I continued to move on to doing corporate and television, and then going to a lot of nonprofit work. So that's basically my gist of my story.
So one thing that we talked about with Shane just a little bit ago is there's obviously work before and after a nonprofit has their gala. You get involved a lot in the preparations for the videos, the funding need videos and different things. How much input do you have toward that? I mean, where do you find your creativity level when you're shooting that video for them?
I get a lot of input in it. It really depends. I mean, sometimes they have an idea of what direction they want to go. Or here lately, we've been doing a lot of virtual stuff, so we've been kind of working off of what they have, as far as video and pictures they have. So it kind of limits your creativity. But whenever we go out and physically shoot a video for these nonprofits, there's a lot of input from us as a team to kind of come up, the image and whatnot of how we want the video to come out.
Right.
Of course, the nonprofit has it has the overall say so in it all, because
right.
their company. So, but there's a lot of creativity involved in it, and sometimes it's limited depending on the company, and sometimes it's not. So it's just one of those things. Every nonprofit has a different need.
So I'm bringing this next question to both you and Shane. When you guys have a videographer and a photographer, I know it's two separate lines. It's two separate talents, creativity skills. Do you ever get together and say, "Man, that's a great shot"? If you're there, would you like tell the videographer Shane or Matt? Would you say, "Hey, check out this shot," or "I think we're going to go here"? Do you guys talk to help set it up?
Well, I think me and Shane bicker back and forth, and like we're little brothers. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I saw you stole my haircut, by the way.
Okay.
I wasn't going to say anything about the haircuts, but hey, so do you feed off of each other? I know the creativity is always there for you guys, and I know both of you guys personally, so I know, like I said earlier, there is no cookie cutter approach to both of you, but do you feed off each other's energy in the shots?
Can I take this one, Matt?
Yeah, go ahead.
Matt and I do, yes. And it's a beautiful thing when you have like-minded people working with like-minded people, because you can accomplish that. However, there is I'm just going to call it what it is. There's a dark side to his industry and my industry that definitely comes down to individuals, and it's called egos. And there are a lot of, you seeing this? Professional photographers and professional videographers that just think the moon and sun rise and shine above their butt. And when you're working with people like that, no. And Matt and I have both learned this the hard way. We go up and we say, "Hey, this shot right here, or from this angle right here, I just got it from my end. Check this out. I think it'd be an awesome shot." And the answer that you will get from some of these professionals is, "I don't need it.
Right.
I got something else." And Matt, you know what I'm talking about. That is a very that sucks the creativity right out of it.
I input. What's funny is, like, coming from a music background, if you go to Guitar Center or you go into anywhere, you go meet a band, and they will talk to you all day long about gear. They will talk to you all day long about their guitar, their drums, or whatever, music all day long. When it comes to like video or photography, you meet somebody else and you try to have that conversation with them.
Doesn't happen.
It's so cutthroat. It's a cutthroat industry. They think you're there to steal their job. It's
right.
funny.
But see, I think part of that also comes, and a fact that a lot of people don't know is Matt and I grew up amongst the same area and the same group of people. Like our adolescence almost mirrored each other. So maybe societal has a part to play in the way that you choose to deal with people or how you choose to receive people. And that's one thing that I've noticed. A lot of the successful people that I know that came from our side of the tracks are pretty like-minded to him and I.
Right.
There's no entitlement to it. I'm not saying that there's none at all. I just see it less.
So let's take this to the nonprofits, guys. I want you guys to tell me, obviously, in today's age, and I'm not trying to insult either one of you when I say this, it's just a question that I have for you. In today's day and age, videos are done through iPhones. Pictures are done through iPhones. So when you talk to the organizations, can you each give me 3 things that you recommend or you tell the organizations that this iPhone or this phone cannot do that you guys can? What would you tell your clients? Because everybody's got the phone. We can just have somebody do it. I run into it myself when I'm talking to organizations and auctioneer, and it comes back, oh, we'll just have such and such or a friend of the organization do it. What do you tell the organizations? Either one can start.
I'll go. So my favorite thing to do is let me see your phone real quick, and let's take a picture of something. You take a picture first, and then let me take a picture afterwards, and I'll prove my point right then and there.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Within 30 seconds, I'll prove my point. Because it's a skill, and it's something that doesn't necessarily come natural. It takes a lot of work and a lot of practice to figure it out. And it's not something you just pick up your phone and be good at it. Now, if I had the iPhone in my hand, I could probably get you a pretty decent product. not as good as I can with my red, but I'm gonna get you a
The experience.
So it isn't about the equipment; it's about the experience. I mean, I don't care if I'm using a Nikon camera or if I'm using a cell phone. I could use a Nokia phone from 2000. I'm gonna give you a better product than what you're ever be able to get on your own. Period.
The funny thing is, I can actually see you doing that just to show somebody that, hey, I'll take your picture with the Nokia and we'll be better. How about you, Shane? What's your response when they say we'll just let somebody else? Or
it's funny. It's pretty similar to Matt. You know, I'll tell them, find me the best picture you have taken in your phone. Just show it to me. And then I will show them the best picture I have taken with my phone or my camera or my GoPro or the cheapest piece of junk I have laying around. And there's really no comparison. I mean, and I'll tell people, if you can find somebody that can do with their phone what I can do with my camera, my software, and my eye, hire them. There's no sense in us even talking. I think at the end of the day, where Matt and I don't mean to talk for you, but I've had many conversations. We allow our work to do the talking. I'm not interested in the rebuttal or the ego that comes with it.
And that's fair. Either way, that's fair.
Plenty of talented people out there. You know, I mean, me and Shane aren't the only talented people on the planet. There's plenty of them out there. But the point is, more than likely, if your cousin's brother's cousins coming to film whatever for you, there's gonna be a problem.
Fair enough.
We'll see you back when when you get that footage back.
Yeah, but unfortunately, in the nonprofit case, we don't have a second time. We have the night of. Yeah. And that's why I stress that to organizations, because I look at both of you guys in the highest regard as professionals. I've seen both your work. I know how it is, and I know that I deal with it in my own light, that being a professional, there's a cost, and there's always feedback against the cost.
Always.
How much did your 4K run you, Matt?
Oh, my
the old 4K. I'm not even talking about the 8K.
Yeah, let's leave the equipment cost out of this, because I don't want nonprofits getting scared off talking to any of us, because all of a sudden they hear one number and it's not true, because it goes to that phrase, you know, you pay for I may show up for an hour at your event, but you're paying for the 30 years that got me there.
But see, it does play in line with what we're talking about when you're talking about the difference of what makes Matt stand out or makes me stand out or even makes you stand out. If you're not willing to invest into your creativeness, into your skill, and into your entire structure, why is a client or a non-for-profit going to invest into you? And as a non-for-profit, if you're not willing to invest into it, how are you going to stand there and ask other people to invest into it if you don't even believe it?
That's fair. That's fair. And I will give you that. Every photographer, every videographer has a favorite, quote unquote, favorite shot. I'm not going to ask you to give that away, because I want you guys to be able to maintain that. But is there something that, again, going back to that creativity, because I don't have it. I take pictures with this and my kids laugh at me on my phone because I'm that guy. I take the picture and my thumb's in the view and whatever. But is there something that triggers, hey, that will be a good shot? Because I know if I'm on stage, I can watch body language and know they're getting ready to bid. What do you guys see behind the camera that makes you be ready or be in position? Because, like, I'm going to hammer Shane on this. The pictures you took for me, you caught shots that I don't even remember when they happened, but they were awesome. So what is it that triggers you guys to put that camera, to know the timing or know where to look?
10 plus years experience, being able to know and read people.
I just like you said, I think it's just about being able to read people. Just know, like, understanding people's movements and how they react. You know, last night, for instance, I was working on a music video, and the girl that was kind of like, she was dancing and she was just like all over the place. And it came down and I was like trying to read her. I couldn't figure out what was what and which direction she was going to go. And And eventually I kind of caught on to it, but you just start getting people's body movements down. You know, you watch them long enough, you just naturally figure it out. You figure out what you're thinking, you know, and I think that's really what it is. You're just one step ahead of them. You're one step ahead of them, you know, and it comes to being able to read body language 100%.
Well, like I said, I've worked with both of you guys and know for a fact that you guys have a mindset that just blows me away, because I've watched things and I'm like, I don't even know where you guys come up with that shot. So let's talk about this. I hate the word shopping for any type of professional. I hate that word. Okay. If a nonprofit calls you and they don't want to use you, but they ask you, how can we make our event better? Is there one piece of advice other than, hire the professional, that you share with the nonprofit?
Oh, no, that's a hard one there.
I get shopped all the time. That's why I'm asking, because I'm hoping maybe there's something I need to be saying to change somebody's mind and to go outside my industry into what you guys do. Maybe the feedback that I need.
I think that's a case by case thing. I don't think that there's a broad answer that goes. I mean, if it's say ARC, you know, the company that's making millions and millions and $1 million a year, and they're shopping you, I think it's a lot different than if it's a mom and pop trying to start a new organization within their neighborhood.
Right. Okay.
At the end of the day, if this mom and pop is giving away 90% of their proceeds to go to their cause, they don't need to shop. I'm with them 100%. I'm not charging. And I'm known for doing that, so I have no problem saying that out loud. If the cause and the means is correct, I'm in 100%. But if you're coming and, 1% of everything that you gain is going to the actual cause, my advice for them is maybe care more about the cause and less about the money.
Fair enough.
When people are shopping, it immediately tells me that they're not serious.
That's fair. I would be willing to bet.
If you're shopping, you're either A, you don't really have the money to do what you want to do, or B, you're just not serious. If some of these organizations we work with, I see the money we raise. You can't. I'm not that expensive. I'm not taking half. It's not
right.
Not that crazy. So if you're out shopping trying to save $500, to me, you've already lost the game. You've already lost.
That's an interesting mindset, because I've always been set and strong believer that you don't know how much it costs to hire a professional until you hire the amateur, and
you're gonna lose.
So, one last question for both of you. I know, Matt, you're getting ready to go do a shoot, and I think Shane, you said you've got your kids trying to be quiet in the background, so we're going to let you guys jump off of here. Tell me this. We all work with nonprofit organizations, and I know for a fact, dealing with what I see, that there's organizations that you get connected to outside of the industry. Are there have you found yourself working with an organization and becoming more involved or more caring about that organization because now you see what they're doing? Has your business brought you to one or more organizations that you said, wow, I like what they do? Shane?
Yeah, autism. 2015, and I remember, and I won't go into the whole thing, but 2015, I was introduced to autism and the problems amongst the community, and all the theories, and more importantly, all the greed that came along with that diagnosis, and
right.
the way people tried to profit off of it. I have started a few different programs myself and means to help with autism. And one of the biggest organizations that I've worked with is Fighting for Autism. and I will until the day I die. I could spend hours on that conversation, but yeah, I mean, autism is probably the closest thing for me that I've developed in my career.
How about you, Matt? Have you?
Yeah. I don't necessarily have like a specific organization that I'm into, but definitely cancer. Cancer is the thing that has affected my family and around me, and I've seen it turn ugly. So it's something that definitely touches my heart, and kind of always gets me. And just like Shane said, it does bother me a little bit that some of the organizations out here are not really donating all the money to the right cause when it comes to that. You see the greed in and whatnot, but cancer is definitely one of those ones I wish that there was more that I could do to help out with.
Perfect. Well, guys, I thank you for your time today. I'm going to bring each one of you up onto the screen. Do me a favor. Tell us how to get in touch with you. We'll go back and we'll put the links and stuff in the show notes to different things that we can share in the comments and different things. But let's start with you, Shane. Shane, tell us how to get in touch with you.
ShaneMichaelStudios.com. Or you can find me on Facebook as Shane Michael Studios. I'm the only one in existence. Shane Michael Studios. That's all you need to know.
All right. And Matt, how about you?
So you can get a hold of me at utopiaentertain.com. So you'll see all our video work and all, and we're all kind of connected under that umbrella anyway. So you can find all our work and what we do and events and all the nonprofits and stuff we work with. And we've really been doing a lot of live streaming events here. That's actually what I'm doing tonight. So something that these organizations.
Perfect. All right, guys, it's been a pleasure. We'll talk to you soon. Keep looking out through that lens. I can't wait to see what more work you guys come up with. We'll talk to you in just a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed something. Hope you learned something from these guys. These guys are awesome. Reach out to me if you need to. If you want to get in touch with them, you can reach out to me or reach out to their websites. I'll put you in contact with them. And I promise you, once you hire these two, you will not be disappointed in the work. Till next time, thanks. Have a great day.
Good luck.